Hello and welcome to your daily dose of Satoshi's news. Today's date is Tuesday, the 23rd of April 2024, St. George's Day, the year of 1 million transactions per second and more. Take custody of your digital assets today at rockwallet.com, including Bitcoin SV, the original protocol, and genuine Bitcoin. Let's get into it. Let's start off with a little bit of 365 days of Bitcoin history to find out what history has got in store for us today. So check this out. There were two today. I know I went over them yesterday, but today marks Satoshi's final email to Mike Hearn when he said, "I've moved on to other things. It's in good hands with Gavin and everyone." So I know I went through this yesterday, but now we know when Satoshi says, "I've moved on to other things," those other things we now know were patents and blockchain IP work. That's what they were. Moving on to other things was developing blockchain IP and filing it, because to get a patent granted can take, between sort of 5 or 10 years sometimes. So that is what Satoshi was on with, filing blockchain IP and developing patents and things like that. Blockchain technologies like smart contracts and things like that. Absolutely sensational stuff. But imagine. Well, 23rd of April is actually it's quite rare to actually have anything from Satoshi in there, because when you go back in history, check this out. So this is Marty Malmy's emails. And what's significant here is this says date Sunday 7th of March 2010. And then literally there's a gap in April. Like literally I have had so much trouble finding anything in April related to, early Satoshi or Bitcoin happenings. And this email goes from 7th of March 2010, and then the next one was 14th of May 2010. So literally there was nothing in April. In fact, like half of May and most of March. So you've pretty much got 2 months here missing, but the entire month of April there is literally nothing. Literally nothing. And I've been right through this. Right the way to the end. August, July, yeah. Yeah, just nothing. Where is it? Yeah, Jan. Yeah. No, look. Yeah, nothing. Absolutely nothing. So that was Marty Malmy's emails. And here again, look. So this on the Nakamoto Institute, which is forum posts. I've done this before. We go down to March. There we go. Look, March 24th, and then there's nothing. There is nothing, not even a forum post, until May 16th. So what was going on there? What was going on in April 2010, where literally we heard nothing from him, nothing at all. And this email wasn't until 2011. So maybe he was kind of like in the background talking to people, but there's just not a lot from Satoshi Nakamoto in April 2010. Just April generally, really, because this was his last email. In fact, let's they were either forum posts. I wonder if there is actually anything the complete Satoshi. If we look in emails. Any emails? No, that finishes at December 2010. February, March. Again, yeah, look, March 4th, October 23rd. There's nothing in April. There's just nothing in April. But anyway, what an epic email that is. I've now moved on to other things. Craig Wright as Satoshi Nakamoto, April 3rd, 2011. Wow. Let's just have a look at the link there. There we go. Loving that. And just for giggles, check this out. On the 23rd of April 2020, Vitalik Buterin posted, BSV does not scale. brilliant. Right, let's have a look at this classic tweet here. Now look, BSV does not scale. Even Calvin had replied to that. Couldn't help himself. Look, wow, this is stupid. See, good to see a billionaire like Calvin, getting in there, because it's kind of like, when you're a billionaire, you can do anything you want with your entire life whenever you want, and he chose to respond and say, wow, this is stupid. That's how much of a priority Calvin felt that comment was required to be, to respond to that. So this is stupid. Yeah. And even I went in there myself. Even found there we go. This was my response. There we go. BSV does not scale. And my response was, and this is you. I do find Twitter very amusing. I have to admit. In fact, to be honest with you, completely changed my social life getting on Twitter. When I needed it, it was just finding something new. For anybody who knows my story but doesn't know it yet because I haven't finished the book, it was a dark moment in my life that made me get on Twitter, and Twitter turned my life around. Most people say, "Oh, I really hate Twitter. I hate social media." I have to confess, I love it. Oh dear, I do indeed love it. 24th. This is just tomorrow, so we'll just touch on this. An intelligence assessment report dated 24th of April 2012, and graded as unclassified for official use only, appeared on the internet. And it just went on about Bitcoin virtual currency unique features present distinct challenges for deterring illicit activities. Documents the challenges the FBI face in tracing suspicious activities. This is what we'll go over tomorrow, so not today. But there we go. Check it out. That was the document right there that appeared on Tinternet, as they say, talking about Bitcoin, an analysis of anonymity in the Bitcoin system. Woohoo! FBI getting concerned there. Right, let's move on to a bit of today's news then. There we go. Let's start with this one. So, Gabe the Babe said, "Guys, Tether is cooked. We're just in the collection of evidence stage of criminal procedure. Seems the Treasury wants to make sure they're the ones putting on the cuffs." And that's a response to Bitfinex post here saying Tether gets exposed for laundering $10 billion a month in Russian sanctions evasion. Also, Tether immediately implements another obfuscation layer scheme to cover up sanctions evasions by integrating with the Russians that use the application to coordinate sanctions evasions. Every time Tether gets exposed by the blockchain, they immediately add extra obfuscation layers, such as when they immediately added Tron Chain after independent researchers figured out that Tethers were being injected into the market and not purchased. Oh yeah, tell me about it. Research that turned out to be accurate after Tether was exposed twice, lying about the substantial presence of their reserves. Tether has never denied the reporting about facilitating $10 billion a month in Russian sanctions evasions and terrorism financing. Ooh. Oof. Is all I can say to that one. Jeepers. But I mean, I would say that Tether is in bed with some seriously powerful connected people. The deep state, if you ask me. And check this out. I found this absolutely hilarious. So this was Pomp when he said Bitcoin demand is increasing and the income daily support just got cut in half. Economics 101, he says, tells us that the next 12 months should be fun for Bitcoin holders. And this is him literally just trying to talk about how the Bitcoin halving needs to make the price go up. Honestly, absolute BS. Honestly, just talking absolute, as I've said there, shite. He has no clue about the fundamental workings of Bitcoin or their model. Literally just talking hot air. Like, shocking. And check this guy as well. So Diddy Tahitu said, imagine working your whole life to accumulate fiat only for the government to just print it out of thin air. So I've responded, imagine travelling around the world promoting BTC, only for the government to have corrupted it in 2017. Because that's what's happened and he hasn't figured it out yet. Oh dear. Another post here, breaking. So X has now acquired a money transmitter license in half the US states. And he said here, go on to say, well, Alex Finn said, this is a life-changing opportunity if X creators. Monetization is coming and it will create millionaires. No platform can pay creators more than X. Here are the 5 things you need to do to prepare. I'm not really too bothered about making money on X. Truth Machine has said here, so Judge Miller is so sure of the overwhelming evidence that he can make declarations against Dr. Wright in COPA without even examining the evidence, but then it takes him months and months to finish writing the judgment that he was already well in advance of writing, so he said. How he's going to get around, how he's going to justify that decision, because we know he was just purely justifying it on the grounds of them being in a maritime court, and referring to his legal fiction, but the judge knows that nobody else knows what he was referring to. So what's he going to do? Explain that he was referring to Craig's legal fiction, and that's the big secret that they don't want anybody to know. So it'd be interesting to see what he says, because none of the supposedly expert independent witnesses' testimonies can be taken seriously. None of them, because they've all got biases and they've all been discredited. So we'll be interesting to see what he's what excuse he comes up to get around that one. This was another one. Says Robert Frederick Kennedy Jr. at Michigan rally says, I'm going to put the entire UK budget on blockchain. Well, we know that the BTC blockchain can't even deal with ordinals or a few shitty JPEGs, let alone the entire US budget on the blockchain. And he continues saying, every American can look at every budget item in the entire budget anytime they want, 24 hours a day. See, he's got the idea. He understands the principle of blockchain. He just doesn't understand that BSV is the only blockchain that can actually do that and support his vision. Yeah, but again, people are looking for it. So eventually, seek and ye shall find. Is what I'll say to that one. And check this out. Ro Ryder said, just in, Venezuela is now moving its oil industry to utilize Tether payments, laundering through Chinese middlemen to evade US Treasury sanctions on oil exports from the dictatorship. Again, so this could tally up with why Tether is being cooked, because obviously the US don't want any business dealings going on without the use of their US dollar, and Tether negates that. I haven't checked this out on the date yet, but there we go. Look, exclusive: Venezuela to accelerate cryptocurrency shift as oil sanctions return. And again, they just don't want Tether to be used, but the more avenues that the US government close down, the less avenues there are to find, which means you're effectively, guiding people towards BSV. Literally, that's what they're doing. That's why they're sort of dragging their shoes, because they're dragging their heels, because they don't know what to do. They're stuck between a rock and a hard place. It was entitled here PDVSA. Since I last heard, had been slowly moving oil sales to USDT, a digital currency. Good luck moving that though. Also known as Tether, whose value is pegged to the US dollar and designed to maintain a stable value. The return of oil sanctions is speeding up the shift, a move to reduce the risk of sale proceeds getting frozen in foreign bank accounts due to the measures the people said. Wow. Oh yeah. The deep state are going to find themselves stuck between a rock and a hard place. Because when I say the US government, I'm talking about the corrupt US government doing all this, which is the deep state. Check this out. So Ryushi had said here, just in, BSV Teranode been running flawlessly for almost 72 hours consistently. The testnet Teranode have smoothly been operating for almost 72 hours, now with an average of 1 million transactions per second without splitting the chain. Progress. That is massive. That is absolutely massive news. Massive news. Makes my heart sing, does that? Yes, indeed. I'm looking forward to checking out Teranode myself. Which we'll get onto the figures right now. There we go. check it out. Let's see what's going on. Right, so we've got Core Coin, Shitcoin, Segwit Coin, Deep State Coin, whatever you want to call it. $66,748. B Crash 511. Fisher Price Cash, who cares? But then we've got Bitcoin literally at just $72. $72. Let's have a look at the difficulty adjustment on BTC. Oh, still highest it's ever been. Well, and hash rate 0.07. Let's compare that. So B Crash sort of going down, then going back up again and coming back down. But Bitcoin in the red, pretty consistent across the board. Loving that. That was the that would have been the hash wall. Oh no, it wouldn't have been the hash wall there actually. That was the hash wall. There we go. Interesting stuff. So it was this hash wall that actually brought the halvings forward, because there was more blocks being mined because there was so much hash rate on the network at that time. So that's why the block halvings happened before BTC does. But very good. Network node. So for anybody who hasn't seen a network node, these are they. This is the backbone to the new global financial system, the world's first ever commoditized digital network. You know, amazing that this all stemmed from, one 9-page white paper. It's just phenomenal. Blows my mind every time. I will never get tired of saying that. Transactions just 8.3%. Let's just check that on what's on chain. What's the overall 24-hour transactions? Just 73,000. That's not many at all. Speculation means we could potentially be transaction banking. Ready for Teranode. Bring it on. And block size, 76%. So remember, in terms of figuring out how things work, the block size represents the amount of data being uploaded onto the network, which is the utility. The data is uploaded via the transactions. The transactions are processed by the nodes that create blocks and supply the hash rate. And the hash rate is meant to be attracted to the value, which is meant to be representative of the price. But the price is currently speculative because people don't have a clue what Bitcoin really is. But when education catches up with speculation, you can guarantee the speculative prices will soon start to match their fundamental values. So you can figure that one out for yourself. Let's have a look at the data coming through here. Nothing to write home about there. Got a few 2 megabyte blocks, but yeah, nothing. Not a lot there. But B Crash, no blocks over a megabyte. And Fisher Price Cash still struggling to get all the blocks over a kilobyte. What an absolute joke. Look. Oh dear. Hash rate, went over there yesterday, so going up on BTC. Proof of work by network, again, that should all be on the genuine Bitcoin, because Segwit Protocol has hardly got any, shouldn't really have any proof of work on it really. It's currently 2.9 million times cheaper to transact on Bitcoin than Core Coin. It's currently 52% more profitable to mine on Core Coin than Bitcoin. And then the other two coins here, still struggling to compete with BTC. Again, hash rate being carefully managed, so very much of a muchness there, 17 and 15, but still more profitable to mine on BTC, so they're being like ushered off those networks because they're shitcoins. Daily average Bitcoin block size by network, going up a little bit there on BSV. Transactions by network, transactions per block, again much of the same. Fees USD, fees USD on Bitcoin going up a little bit there. Fees Satoshis, they've just gone up and surpassed Fisher Price Cash. Fee to block reward ratio, look at that. Look at the fees on BTC. Oh my goodness me. Wow. Daily accumulated Bitcoin blockchain growth by network. So this is the growth of the chain, the amount of data on the chain, which is represented by the volume of transactions and data usage. So when they say sort of length of the chain, it's the length of the chain of signatures, and the network that has more transactions on it probably has more data on it. So it's the length of the chain of signatures, because it's all one chain. So the network that has the largest chain of signatures on it represents it's got the most utility, which is the most transactions. So that's what that graph represents there. And as Satoshi said, it is strictly, which I can't remember what it was. It was strictly necessary that the longest chain is always recognized as the most valid one. There we go. So let's get into the hash rate here. I love looking at these. There we go. Let's enlarge them. Global hash rate 7 days. Global hash rate 24 hours. BTC hash rate 24 hours. Bcrash, other miners down to managing the hash rate carefully there, down to 35.4. Fisher Price Cash, other mining pools 12.5. Via BTC getting 65% of the blocks on there. And we can't really trust a coin dance on that, so let's move on. Let's see what's really going on. Oh, check it out. Check it out. Tau back up to 44.83. Kuv down to 31. QD-Link 17.24. Gorilla Pool 6.21. They're doing really well. Mining Dutch with a slither at 0.69. All right. Let's have a look at Crypto Quant. So look, USD price going up. Exchange reserves going down. They are still cashing out because they know what's coming. There, right there. Tether. So it looks like there's been furious buying here because it would have been in the green. It's just literally gone in the red. Let's see what that means. I'm guessing there'll be more Tether being pumped into the market. Look at that over the week. Good grief, went to 108.1 to 109.85, pretty much $2 billion. In fact, that's less than a week there. $2 billion gone in over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days. Yeah. Good grief, good grief. Let's have a look at the longs and shorts. So longs going up just a little bit because they crashed prior, but you know, a little bit of confidence being regained, but not much. Okay, so this is Bitcoin versus BTC. So it went up there and it's just like plodding along nicely at the moment. Let's have a look at Bitcoin versus USD, just down here. Can we find it? I know it's around here somewhere. There we go. Right, let's have a quick look. Oh, trending up nicely over the last 5 days. Nice. Let's have a look at live coin watch then. So we've currently got a market cap of $2.47 trillion. Let's have a look at coin. Look, volume down to 1.5. So you only need 1.5% of the market to turn, and the entire 24-hour volume gets wiped out. Entire market, like, yeah, a $1.3 trillion market just goes up in smoke, and people wonder where it goes. Like, how can I have all this value and then it just disappears? Because value is it's a measurement, really, a measurement of demand. If the demand isn't there, the value disappears. And if something is useful, it's valuable. If something is useless, it's worthless. And we know that BTC is utterly worthless and has no, and worse than that, it has no contractual credibility or economic value because of that. It's going to be devastating for so many people who don't understand what they're looking at. Oof. Right, let's see if we can find Bitcoin in here somewhere. Where are we now? What? Hazard a guess? 60, oh my goodness me, 65. $71, just trending down a little bit over the last 24 hours. Volume just a 9.3, and there's only $1.7 million worth of ask. That's hardly any. Market cap of just $1.4 billion. Whew. Let's have a look at volume on OKX and liquidity. Oh, so back on Coin DCX. Oh, interesting. Let's have a look at Teranode. Come on, and where are we? Let's have a look at this. Brilliant. So the lowest amount of transactions are in that column is 932,000 transactions per second. What else we got? Yeah, still 932. I mean, 932,000 transactions per second. Again, this is the only digital network on Earth that can actually process more than 50,000 transactions per second. And in that entire column, the lowest transactions per second was 932,000. Oh, we got 926,000. Excuse me. Only 926,000 transactions per second. Good grief. Look at this. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Loving that. Need we remind ourselves that Vitalik Buterin said BSV doesn't scale? Well, you just wait till this comes on the mainnet. Absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Maybe let's remind ourselves one more time. What was that, Vitalik? BSV doesn't scale? Right, there we go. We'll leave it there. If you enjoy these updates, please ding your donations for your appreciation to Satoshi at handcash.io. Remember, I do this all for free. I get no support from anybody at all. So all the donations are very, very much appreciated. Much love to everybody who has donated so far. So we'll leave it there. Hope you enjoyed it. And as ever, be aware, take care, stay safe out there, and we'll see you in the next one.